Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build a bench. I've got everything prepped here. What I've also done is, before I put the bench in, is I put these two pieces of ply, which I had in my last garage, and I'm going to use that as a shadow board for all the tools to go on. Screwdrivers and things like that, all the hand tools that I've got, I'm going to actually put up on there. And when the bench is here, I can just reach across, get it, and work on the bench. So what I'm going to do now is I found a really long bit of 2x4, something like that. I'm going to screw that into this bit, so this will be the support for the back of the bench. I'm going to measure, I'm going to probably have the bench about the same height as a kitchen worktop would be. That would give me a bit of space under here for the electrics, and the plywood top, and then I'm just going to put them over there. I'm going to sandwich them, and it's going to be about 14 feet long. Right, what I've done here is I've got two benches and packed up some wood so that when I put this support bar for the back of the bench, it's going to be level. I can put it on there, put the spirit level on, and also sit the right height, because I've taken away the thickness of the bench, and so the thickness minus the thickness of the bench is going to be a 40 mil. Should. Do where I want it to be. I wanted to finish it by the end of this. So I've got the bar going all the way down there. I'm going to put a return bar to the width of the top of the bench. So what I've done now is I've marked out 3 legs to the same height as that. But what I'm also doing is checking that with a template one, that over there where the leg is going to actually sit, because I don't know about the floor. So where the leg is going to sit is going to be the same as there. So about there, and it's plumb. And the same with the other 3. So when this, I'm going to be screwing a rail across, supporting rail for underneath the bench top for there, into here. So then that'll give us 3 legs there, and the end one will be supported by the bar on the end. And then what I'll do is I'll put in some cross bars into here, put another bit of wood on there, and then put some cross bars across there, supporting it in the 3 places. So what I've done here in the 3 leg positions is I've screwed a long piece into the wall, and then a short bridge piece across here. So what I'm going to do is when this leg is out here, I'm going to be able to bridge across here and screw into there, and then a little bit of a longer bridge across here just to brace it at the bottom. So I'll screw into there and screw into there. Looks a bit Heath Robinson, but I think that's probably going to work really well, because then you'll have a support for the bench top here, and then a brace down here. I'm only going to do 1 screw, even though I want to put in 2 screws to keep it dead square. I'm only going to put 1 screw in until I've got it upright, and then I can wiggle the uprights a little bit to get it dead square afterwards, and then screw it tight. Just to get it square. I haven't got a T-square, and these aren't the best things to use, really, but it's somewhere handy. Just using salt. Screw it in. Well, that's the first bit, cross member, and then do the same on the other three. Just putting some bottom braces in now. I've only got 4-inch screws. Still. Okay, the frame is done, all along there, 3 legs down and an end bracket, so which is screwed to the wall down that end. So now all that's left for me to do is the top, the plywood top. Right, today I'm going to put the bench top together now. I've got some sheets of plywood here. So I'm gonna, because we measured that the width of the bench is going to be half the width of this plywood. The plywood's 4 foot wide, so I'm going to just mark off where half of it is. I put it on some blocks of wood so that when I jigsaw down it, the jigsaw don't catch on anything. And then that give me 2 lengths. But it needs to go longer than this, but I've got another couple of sheets anyway. So that's what I'm going to do now. Well, that's the first layer on, which is 12mm. I'm going to put an 18mm thickness on now. Where there's a joint, I'll have cut a little bit off of the 8 foot length. So, although there's a joint there, on the 18mm, I'll make the joint at 8 foot from there. So there'll be a joint underneath there and there'll be an 18mm thickness joint here. I'll screw them together, and I shouldn't need to have to support it underneath, because at the moment there's a bit of a cross obviously. But once it's bonded together it should be alright. Before I screw that down, I might put a plain, screw them together, move it slightly, and then plane it. I might round that corner off, just slightly. Right, I've got both pieces of ply on there now. The 12mm and the 18mm, giving me 30mm. That's plenty strong enough, plenty thick enough for what I want. I'm going to screw them together. Just put I've just jigsawed the edge of that one off. I'm just going to. But what I've decided to do is protect the top of the plywood bench, and I bought some bespoke rubber. It's 5mm thick, it's 14 foot long, and it's 2 foot wide. So I bought this from a company in Bristol, and it's just been delivered. So I'm going to open that now and lay it down onto the bench, and then find a way of actually sealing it onto the bench. Boom. So I put the rubber on the top. I've glued the front edge to this just to keep it. I haven't glued the back. Shouldn't go anywhere. So I haven't combed it with glue or anything. I'm only using sort of PVA anyway. Seems to have stuck there. I've just got some weights on the ends because I've just glued the two ends. But what I have bought is some trim from the local DIY stores. It's 30, I've measured across, including the rubber, is 35mm from the top of the rubber to the underneath of the plywood. So I've got these sort of mouldings from this DIY store, and that's 34mm, so it's about a millimetre in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to nail this to there, so it encapsulates it turns off the ply nicely, but it encapsulates the rubber. And that'll give it some nice, and it's radiused off top, square edge at the bottom, and that'll just make it trimmed off nicely. So I'm going to nail that into there now. Start it off there. That's it. There. Okay, so the trim for the edge of the bench is on. That's okay. So I'm going to start putting things onto the bench that I think I might need. I bought this grinding wheel mainly because I've got a lot of drills that I want to sharpen up, chisels, things like that. And I think I might need that. I've always wanted one, never had one. Chisels that really need to be done again. So I bought this one. It's quite cheap enough. I know I've viewed it before. So I'm just going to open that and see what that's like. Manual. Look at that eventually. Something heavy there. Okay. Yeah. I need to put it on the floor and lift out. I'm going to sight it towards the end of this bench. Enough elbow room for things, so and it'll be in front of that socket as well. So yeah, seems to be all right. Before I do that, I want to make sure where I want to put it. I'm going to put it. There's holes in there to screw down through. So that's good in 4 places. What I probably will put into that hole is not necessarily normal screws. I'll probably put coach bolts so I can get a little spanner on there to do it up tight. I think I've got a few. So I'll just position that now to where I need it. Well, I've just placed the grinder where I want it to go. I've pushed that through the holes that I need to drill there and just marked the rubber. Just putting a little bit of a indicator on there now where it needs to be. Yeah, all this is going to be like a tapping hole, if you like, so I can actually screw down through there. I've got a socket set here. Right, the guard is all assembled, even though it tells you how to assemble it with this. The only thing you need to do now is put it onto there. So what you've got is you've got some hex keys, or Allen keys as we call them. That goes onto there, that goes through there, and then the nut goes on the back. The other one in. Through there, and on the back. $8mm spanner on the back, and then a 4mm. Well, I think it's 4mm. I'm not sure actually. On there. Right, we're going to put the support bar on there now. So we've got a bolt which has got a square end to it there. That will go through there, and it won't be able to turn because it will lock on the slot. That will go through this one. That'll sit on there. Put washer on. And then put your grip on. Don't have it as close as you can, but I reckon within 2mm. It's not very square, this bar, but that should be alright. That'll still go round and round. I'll do the same with the other one. But having as tight as possible. So they both go round and round. That's tight, that's tight. Right, so it's all fixed. I've plugged it in. So I'm going to turn it on now. Even just turning it on, I'm going to wear safety glasses just in case anything happens. When I do start grinding, I'll probably use the air defenders as well. But I just want to see if it works at the moment, which I'm hoping it will. So I'm going to stand not clear, but you can still see. Okay, that's on. So it takes a while to warm up, doesn't it? It's a slow start. So once it's going, seems alright. The light seems to be good. I'm going to put these on. I'm going to try. That's my grinder sorted out. Now I'm going to put a vise on. Right, this is the next thing I'm going to be putting on the vise, on the bench. This is a vise. It's I've seen plenty on the internet. Some are smaller, but this one's a 6-inch or 150 wide Jaws vise. It's really heavy. I've got it from Screwfix, so it's quite a good bargain. Just have a look. What is that? There's a box within a box. This way up. Nope. It's heavy. That's what it should look like. And we'll bolt it down a bit like we did with the grinder. Certainly well packed. So apparently you can swivel it. Don't think I'm going to need that so much, but so I'm going to do the same as what I've done with the bench. I'm going to sort out roughly where I need to want to have it. Probably want it in front of my tools here, but I just have a little look around the garage just to see what it looks like. Sorry, I didn't film drilling it. I've drilled the holes, got the vise where I think I want it, and now I'm just bolting it down now. I've got 4 of exactly the same bolts, coach bolts. As the grinder. So he is not going anywhere. Either way. Yeah, it's a swivel. Oh, this thing isn't done up tight. Wonder why that was a bit funny. That's better. So, there we go.